Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2023 Maughan Thiem SA Sailing League, coming to you live from Port Adelaide here in South Australia. And what a marvellously wet weekend it's been down here in Adelaide. My name's Harry Fisher. I'll be your commentator this evening, or this afternoon I should say, but I have the great pleasure of being joined with Ashley Emery, who was one of the skippers of the Largs Bay Sailing Club team this weekend. Ash, great to be with you.
Awesome to be here, and if we can't be out there, I can be under the dry cover, staying warm and watching everyone else race. It's very exciting.
Yeah, so it's been a crazy weekend. Obviously, the Dockside Festival, which is a event run by the City of Port Adelaide Enfield, which was meant to be on in the port this weekend. What did have to be cancelled due to the inclement weather, a lot of rain, a lot of wind, thunderstorms and everything. We've been absolutely soaked, and I know yesterday with a couple of the qualifying pools it was pretty wet. But Ash, you sailed on the Friday night, and
I did.
Stayed a little bit drier, or
we stayed sort of dry. There was a bit of rain, forecast for 30 knots and thunderstorms, and we ended up with about 3 knots and floating around for a couple of hours. So yeah, it's all been very unpredictable this weekend, but it's all part of the fun.
Absolutely. Now, we thank our viewers for their patience, I suppose, with this broadcast. We've had a few technical difficulties just in the setup, but also a few technical difficulties with the boats. Unfortunately, boat number 3 out in the fleet there, which was meant to be sailed by the Henley Sailing Club 2 team, skippered by Alex Alder, is suffering damage with its kite halyard. So basically that means that we've had to adjust the format a little bit. And if we get the team's graphic up on the screen now, you'll now see that when that comes up, you'll see that basically some of the teams are missing at the moment. And we'll have to... we haven't got the graphic. We'll wait for a sec for that one. But basically what we've had to do is ensure that those sailors... Here we go. These 3 that are up on screen now: Henley Sailing Club 2, which is, like I said, Alex Alder; Henley Sailing Club 1, Damien Carey; and Adelaide Sailing Club, Alex Blacker. So these were the 3 teams to qualify second in their pool. So they were the second finishers of those pools. Basically, that means that they select the boats first. But given that boat 3 is out of action, we've decided to have a 3-boat sail-off for the first elimination. So
Henley versus Henley.
Yeah. What do you think that is going to happen in this one for us, Ash?
Who's to say, to be honest? In this light, shifty wind, it honestly could be anyone. I think Alex Blacker is pretty experienced in this stuff, so stands a good chance, but we'll see how this plays out.
So it looks like we might be going into a sequence fairly shortly for this elimination race. So we should get some cameras on, but at the moment we've just got one camera at the moment on the racing, and we've got a drone about to go up as well. So hopefully we're on standby with the start boat, but we'll roll into it fairly shortly. So I guess in this first race, I mean, it's a little bit more cutthroat than you would have liked. Even though the top boats would have been in there normally, Ash, you still end up with this, I suppose, issue with now it's a 3-boat race and you've got a much higher chance of getting eliminated straight off the bat. How would you feel if you were one of those skippers right now?
I'd be fairly nervous, if I'm honest. But yeah, it'll be an interesting pair up with the 2 Henley Sailing Clubs going head to head to start with. A 1 in 3 chance of getting eliminated right off the bat. Can see a few of them out there now, just floating around, getting ready, getting everything tuned up, ready to go.
Now we might just see our... we're also got the great pleasure tonight of having our... on-water reporter with us today, Curtis Mitchell. Now, we think Curtis might be on comms. Curtis, can we hear you over there, mate? No? Not yet. So I'm a bit premature on that one, but we've got a drone in the sky, and that's the main thing. So it'll be good to have a look at what we're expecting out there, and hopefully get into this fairly shortly. So you can see boats on screen. Just keep in mind that boats 1, 4 and 5. Boats 1, 4 and 5 are the ones racing. Any of the other boats that aren't racing will just be sitting off to the side. So we're just going to have to work our way through this first elimination race to see who gets eliminated and who follows through into the 5-boat final series from that point on. So Ash, we've got this awkward sort of breeze. I guess when what we're used to here in Adelaide with the normal sea breeze conditions is these southwesterlies that come up over the Birkenhead Bridge and basically run all the way down the river. And it makes for a really nice long course racing in upwind in towards the heart of Port Adelaide there. What have you noticed with these breezes over the weekend, sort of more being a southeasterly? You kind of get a lot flukier stuff over this right-hand shoulder. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that's right. A lot less predictable, a few more gusts coming off the buildings, and potentially a much shorter course, which means that boat handling needs to be absolutely spot on, getting that kite up and down in that short distance.
Also notice that when you're in close to shore here as well, by the wharf wall, basically from the camera position that you can see on screen, that spot there, because the breeze is coming over your shoulder, right in close to the wall, you do get some pretty massive lulls. So the starts can be a little bit slow, and then eventually when the gust comes over the shoulder, you're pretty happy to get that moving. So drone's on screen now. I reckon we're not far off going into a sequence, so I might give the race officers the heads up. You can see there we go, beautiful shots of Port Adelaide there, and we are going into a sequence soon. So if our drone operator is ready, we should be able to follow most of this race on his own until our on-water camera and reporter get out there. That's the 3-minute gun there. All the 3 flags are now up. So you can see on screen now, Ash, that orange mark is the pin end there, and then the boat end over the other side. So we'll start to see the race take shape shortly. And yeah, what's your thinking here? Who's your pick?
Who's my pick? Oh, that is very tough. We've got some very experienced sailors, 2 national champions at least amongst them. Honestly, it could be anyone's game in this wind. I think we'll just have to wait till they get off that line to make a pick.
Yeah, so I mean, Alex Alder, formerly Alex South, a very, very reputable and competent sailor, grew up doing all of her stuff in Sydney, and now living in Adelaide, has basically, this is her first return to sailing after having a second child, and she's been dealt a pretty bad blow just with the, I suppose, the boat breakage here. So it's been a bit of a tumultuous start, but what she's managed to do is she'll take boat number 1, which was Larg's 1, was their boat. So she'll take that for the first race, and it's a 3-boat elimination. So we're inside 2 minutes now. We really need to get a look at this line, if we can. And at the moment, what you're seeing is the 3 boats on screen looking basically straight down the course. So they'll be starting at that orange mark to the right of it, which is where the start line is. And if we can get our drone on the course and have a quick look at what's going on here, because this race is about to start. All right, so you can see this drone, which will follow most of the race. They're sort of jostling for position here. There's the start line. What's going through your head here, Ash, with about a minute to go? What are you sort of thinking in a 3-boat race?
Well, I'm hoping the wind stays up. They've got a fair bit of distance to make up to that line already at this point in time. Number 1's a fair distance behind. These are really tricky starts to nail the timing of, with the gusts and the lulls coming up all the time.
Yeah, so you can see boat 1 closest to screen there. They've sort of got the further approach. They're inside 1 minute here. We're starting to see the approach.
Boat number 4's looking quite good, quite close there.
So the scoreboard's up. That's Henley 2 in boat 1, furthest right of screen. Alex Alder, we've got Henley 1. Damien Carey, the Mirror legend and 505 champion as well. And also the Adelaide Sailing Club boat of Alex Blacker. So the last boat out of this race will be eliminated. And it will be certainly a tough sail back to the docks at that point. So 2 laps, downwind starts. Here we go. We are just about to get started. The first race of the Maughan Thiem SA Sailing League Grand Final, I reckon, is about underway.
Let's get ready for those kites.
There's the start, and the kites are going. Not a bad start there from Alex Alder and the Henley team. What do you think's going to happen here,
A jibe
Ash?
straight away up the course. They really need to get those kites working quickly just to get ahead early. Not a lot of wind going on around that start line right now, though.
So you can see now we're just pulling the drone back due to some of the weather, but you can see the boat's now heading down course. So that boat 4 heading out to the left, the jibs are down, trying to keep themselves moving.
Number 4 is looking pretty good at the moment.
And number 4 heading out to the left there. So breeze on the course certainly looks to be in the left.
Heading up, seeking pressure at the moment.
And we've got a real separation here. Boat 4 now jibing.
Yep, we'll wait for the cross to pick who's in the lead.
Just leave it. All right. It's all happening here. So we've got first leg of the race. So you now see these two boats on screen that are converging. That's boat 4 and boat 5. Henley 1, Damien Carey in boat 4, Blue Kite. Alex Blacker in the red sail there, which is the Adelaide Sailing Club team. All right, we've got a water camera here as well, which is starting to take shape. This is boat number 1. So let's see what we've got there. That is Alex Alder, who we were the aforementioned boat that's had a tumultuous start to this race. She hasn't had the start she would have liked, but she's getting moving now, and she's on her approach into the bottom marks. So we'll see how they converge here. She is in last position. That is the challenge here.
Moving really well at the moment.
But it's still a long way to go. Adelaide Sailing Club, Alex Blacker is in the lead. Now remember, for those just tuning in, this is the first of our elimination races, and it means that the last boat out of this one will be eliminated, and then from there it'll be all to play for. How do you manage, Ash, with the, obviously jib up and jib down is a tricky one, and getting those asymmetric kites through the jibes, especially in light breeze, is a real challenge. We've got a few protests on here. Umpire's right on screen. And he's grabbed, which flag is it? A red. And I'm not sure which boat that is.
Number 4.
Number 4, that is.
Number 4. So that's good news for Alex Alder there. It's a fellow clubman there in Damien Carey. So certainly not how you want to do it. But I suppose if it's Largs versus Largs, you versus Luke, you'd still be going just as hard, wouldn't you?
That's right. No holds.
So we're just having a look here at boat number 4. And they've got penalties, so they'll be jibing around here, and this is not what you want if you are Damien Carey in a cutthroat elimination race. Alex Alder's sailing away. Alex Black is probably half a leg up to windward now, but for the main reason we've got challenge here is Damien. He's not happy with the media boat, but that's all part of it. So just on screen now, that's Damien there coming up the Birkenhead coast. And, what do you reckon he's saying on his boat? What did you make of the decision there, Ash?
Oh, that's a tough one. I couldn't really tell from our footage what was going on quite around the mark. So, he'd be pretty unhappy at this point. It's going to be very challenging for him to catch up from here.
So I can't see Alex Blacker. I mean, that's probably a good sign for him. He seems to be a long way ahead. Our cameras are following the back markers. Obviously, this is an elimination race. And we've got a drone back in the air as well. So we might be able to just quickly take a look at that drone shot at the top of the course. And you'll see that this is Alex Blacker at the top. And it's quite a wide top mark gate, but he's got one more lap to do. So this is, I tell you what, if you were to qualify second, you always want to qualify first, because if a boat does break, you do get thrown in the pits a little bit with this challenging sort of elimination concept. But unfortunately, it's just the way it's written. The SIs are actually written to say that, and picture in picture there is the last boat, Damien, as well. So the SIs are written that if a boat is broken, you draw a short straw, and the last one actually gets eliminated that way. But seeing as they were already on the water, we decided to have a sail off. If it was you, Ash, what would you prefer?
Oh, to be honest, I'd be pretty upset getting eliminated by a straw pull, so I think this was definitely a good call. Just watching Alex Blacker there with the perfect kite hoist. Not too many mistakes happening from him out there today.
Yeah, I know these guys were down here early. They qualified on the Friday night. Crew work is obviously a big focus in these Elliots, and I know Alex Blacker, Jesse Mitten, Tori Young and Sean Keane have been working really hard at getting those sets and drops right. And at the moment, they are about 3/4 of a leg safe of elimination. So it's tough going in these first few races, but it's all just part of it. So nice shot there. You can sort of see in the distance at the top of screen the beautiful shoreline of Port Adelaide. Lovely there. The lighthouse in the background, a maritime mecca, some would say. Ash.
That's right. Damien's just got his kite up now, so he'll be chasing them down, hoping for something special to happen here.
So one more lap. Looks like the breeze is building as well. Looks to be a bit of pressure filling in over the race course. This is Damien Carey here now. Look, not the way you'd want to go if the places stay as they are, but all part of the nature of this sort of sailing, isn't it?
That's right. And I'm told he's out here with some youths from the Henley Sailing Club, so a great experience for them as well, getting into the finals.
I tell you what though, like seeing Henley Sailing Club involved in this event, they weren't entered in either of the last two editions of the SA Sailing League, but I tell you what, they were just saving the best for when it was ready, with two teams and the only club in South Australia to have two teams in the final.
Absolutely. And the only female skipper in the finals. So we have to give some credit for that as well. Absolutely. So we've got, you can see all three boats on screen here. Those two heading upwind are, like, as we mentioned, Alex Blacker and Alex Alder. They are safe from elimination as it currently stands, and I reckon they're pretty close to laying the finish just on the way it is. Bit of a knock there. Geez, it's coming from all angles, isn't it? How hard is it sailing here in Port Adelaide? Oh, it's extremely difficult, especially when the wind is quite light, because you get the big gusts coming through and some pretty significant wind shifts. The boat sitting next to you might be moving very quickly, and you might not be going anywhere. So definitely a challenge for the tactics. Alex has just tacked.
Yeah, so boat 5 there on screen. That's Alex Blacker. Alex Alder's tacked back, and oh geez, and if we switch cameras now, Damien's got kite troubles in the distance. I think we can get the other shot on screen. Not that. Yeah, there we go. There he is, poor guy. That's not fast. Tell you what, it all comes down to time in the boat, doesn't it?
That's absolutely
Have you done much
right.
sailing on these Elliots, Ash?
Cumulatively, I have now. This year, not so much. Headed to the finals in Sydney last year. Got a huge learning curve over there talking to everyone. So that's absolutely it. It's time, practice, getting those manoeuvres absolutely spot on. And that's what we can see with Alex there.
So Alex Blacker crosses the line in first. And it looks like boat 1, which will be Alex South, will end up in second. So poor old Damien Carey there from Henley 1 will be eliminated, unfortunately.
And that's boat number 2 heading through the finish there.
So we might just get our on-water reporter. I don't know what sort of mood Damien Carey's going to be in for an interview, but we're going to try and get him out there. Now, Curtis Mitchell is on the water. Curtis, can you hear us over there?
I can hear you, Harry. Have you got me?
All right, he's hearing us, but we're not hearing him, unfortunately. But Curtis, if you can just start by telling us what is the racing like out there? The breeze seems to be all over the place, but what are we seeing out on the water?
Well, unfortunately for Damien, it looked like it was all over for him at that first bottom mark. It looked like Alex South managed to sneak in and get...
Yeah, absolutely. So you were a bit closer to the action there when Damien Carey had that little kite issue and also the penalty. Can you explain to us what happened with that penalty?
Yeah, it looked like Alex South, also from Henley, managed to squeeze in and get overlap and called boy room on him. So she managed to sneak on the inside. Not sure if Damien was happy with that call, but I guess we'll find out shortly. And unfortunately, on the second mark, a bit of a kite upset, got the kite stuck, and had to slow him down some more.
That's right. It'd be great to see how he's feeling out there.
Yeah, look, it's tense racing. It's such a short course. You know, one mistake and it's just all over, you know.
Yep, that's right.
Well, here he is crossing. Hopefully we'll get in and have a chat to him now and see how he's feeling about it all. But good on him for bringing some juniors from Henley out here and giving this experience to them.
That's right. What a great experience for the young ones coming out and getting a taste of this up-close racing.
All right, we're just approaching him now. I'll hope to be able to get him for a chat. G'day, Damien. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
How was that?
It was a bit of a shocker, really.
Yeah? Talk us through that first mark with the contention there with the other Henley boat.
Yeah, that's it. So we thought we had enough room there. We're basically on the mark, within 3 boat lengths. You had no right to come up and above us in there. And we're already basically dead running to the mark, as you can probably see. But, that's just the way it is.
That's it. And this is your first time for this format as well?
Yeah, so it's the first time we saw one of these boats this weekend. And
enjoying it?
Only a young crew, so, they did a good job.
Well, look, we think it's really awesome to see you out here bringing the young people through, enjoying this format, and it's great to see 2 boats from Henley here, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's good, 2 boats from Henley making the finals, so...
Fantastic.
Yeah, see what happens next year.
All right, good to see you next year then.
Yeah,
Bye.
no worries. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, so now we will be going through the boat swaps, and Alex South will be heading into her club teammates' boat there into boat 6, which will be Henley 2 from this point on, and then Luke Stevens and the Largs team will return to boat 1, as you'll be able to see that on screen shortly. So sorry about our cameras waving around. It's been a crazy time, but everything is sort of starting to get happening. All right. Geez, Ash, what did we make of that one? I know a bit of a crazy way to start, but, you don't plan for these breakages, but that's sort of the way that it has played out, and it looks like Alex Alder lives to fight another day after all that. What are you thinking?
Absolutely. She'd be pretty stoked right now, I'm thinking, heading into the next round, where a few more boats on the course, so a little bit more of a chance to get up there and just avoid last place in these next few races.
So now the top qualifiers do head back into the race now. So that is the Largs Bay Sailing Club team of Luke Stevens. It's the Grange Sailing Club team of Jason Clark, and also the Cruising Yacht Club of South Australia with Carter Baker. Now these teams all qualified in boat number 1. A few whispers on the docks that boat 1's the quick boat, but I reckon those were just the 3 teams that sailed best. What did you make of the qualifying rounds?
I think you might say that there was a bit of that going on, but when you look at the 3 teams that managed to sail in those boats, we've got some really, really experienced sailors. I mean, Carter on Friday night, you couldn't have questioned that at all. No matter what boat he was in a league of his own compared to everyone else that night. So he's definitely going to do well regardless of boat. Again, Luke Stevens, we've got past champion on that boat as well. So it'll be some super tough racing coming up next.
He was the inaugural winner of the SA Sailing League just a couple of years ago in 2021, and I remember that year we only had the 10 teams. We did 2 qualifying pools, and then the finals was a first to 3, and Luke managed to stitch it up in 4 races. Do you think he's at that stage in his sailing career now where he's kind of a big game player, or do you reckon anyone's out there that can spook him?
He's definitely known as a big game player, but I'd be a little bit spooked as well. Looking at particularly Carter Baker, the volume of training that those kids have put in the last 12 months, heading to the World Championships, and there's a lot of experience going on that boat, so definitely this one is not taken for granted, that's for sure.
I suppose as well, the interesting thing about these boats is that, everyone refers to the Elliots and this one design sort of format of sailing in small keel boats as the great leveller between keelboat sailors, dinghy sailors, everyone in between. It certainly puts everyone on a level playing field, but there is still a lot of people that, especially through the Cruising Yacht Club's Youth Sailing Foundation, who are doing more hours in these boats. How much of it is time in the Elliott 7?
It definitely comes into play. There are some very specific strategies that you need to use, particularly jibing these kites in light breeze is a very, very challenging thing, and just watching them, how smooth things happen. I think time in these boats is definitely invaluable, but also they're not that far off some of our bigger dinghy classes. We've got Sharpie sailors out there, 505 sailors, so yeah, I think it's definitely a bit of a level playing field today. It'll be very interesting to see who comes out on top.
Absolutely. Now, we've got Curtis Mitchell, our on-water reporter, out there. Now, I'm having a little bit of a broken audio link with Curtis, but I believe he can still hear me.
Harry, I still
But
got you.
we're going to just cross to Curtis now. Curtis, we're getting ready for the second elimination race. 5 boats are left. What do you make of it, and what are you seeing out there? The rain's coming through, a bit of a mixed bag of breezes, and what's happening on the water?
Thanks, Harry. Yeah, I've got you. Well, it's shaping up to be another short course again. The breeze is still hanging in from that predominantly southern direction. It's going to be about choosing the right side of the course and getting a really clean start. As you saw in Blackers in that last race, that clean start just gave him the space he needed to move out in front and hold on to that lead. So I'd watch carefully for the start sequence, watch the boats go into that 3-minute sequence, and just see who gets in front, and that'll be really hard to beat.
Yeah, absolutely, Curtis. It's certainly an interesting breeze angle, breeze strength. How much of it out there is actually causing challenges for these sailors, and which are the teams that you're noticing that are actually sort of seem to be handling it better?
Well, the challenge is as the wind is coming from behind a bunch of buildings that the course is on, so it funnels down into the course in different ways. So there's definitely shifts you can play across the course. And the sailors that spot those shifts first or get into the heavier pressure the first, they're the ones that really benefit out of this. If you get locked out of the course and don't drive back into the pressure quick enough, you're going to find yourself out the back door pretty quickly here. So the people can anticipate those shifts, see where the best breeze and get into that the first, they're going to do the best out of this.
Fantastic, Curtis. Thank you so much for your time and all your help there. It's certainly looking like shaping up to be a great final series. The rain's in, so our camera options are limited with the drone being back on shore, but as soon as that rain stops, we'll get the drone back out there, and we're now in a sequence for race number 2. Thanks for your time, Curtis, and we'll check in with you during the race. So,
Thanks,
Ash,
Harry.
now race 2. We've got 5 boats left. Who do you reckon is on the chopping block for this one?
Oh, I'm not calling it yet. Wait till they get underway and I'll start making some decisions. I wouldn't dare to say yet. It'll be a tougher start with 5 boats on the line to avoid, definitely, than the last race.
So we're now inside 2 minutes. Grange Sailing Club, Largs Bay Sailing Club and CYC, they're coming in cold. We've got Alex Blacker and Alex South. They've had a race. They're race ready. They've just survived an elimination and now they're going out there. Could we see one of the top teams get eliminated here, do you reckon?
It could be a chance. There's definitely a benefit in that race. You saw some pressure sort of come through on the left of the screen. And I think Alex is probably going to be very experienced at picking where those pressure lines are coming down the course.
Which Alex are you referring to?
Oh, great question. I'm going to call him Blackers. Does that
Yeah,
work?
that's probably a good one. I do sail a bit of Sharpie, a bit of time sailing the Sharpie with Blacker, and we do like to call him the River Rat. He is he is experienced with shifty conditions, having grown up in Goolwa.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he certainly feels comfortable and at home here on the Port River. But anyway, we've got a great shot there. This is the committee boat. Big thanks to Australian Sailing for lending that one to us. We're now inside 1 minute. Matty Salter and Greg Keane on the start boat there. And there's our start line. Port River there looking immaculate in this weather, and the Port Adelaide Lighthouse in the background in all its glory. So boats are setting up down at the far end.
Yep.
On starboard. And we're now getting inside with the race to go. We apologise for not having a start timer. But nonetheless, we can count you in as we hear it. So we're about 30 seconds to go just there. Who looks like they're in the box seat here, Ash?
Well, it's a little bit hard to tell from here. Looks like they're bunching up down that starboard end of the line right now.
Oh, this is a good one here. We'll stay on this camera, but you can see some awesome angles there. Getting close, boat 5, that's Adelaide Sailing Club. Blacker's looking for a hero start. You want to be staying out of trouble in these elimination races.
Henley just coming around the back there, not looking so hot yet.
There's a red flag. I'm not sure who that's for. All right, let's switch these cameras around and we'll now see how the fleet plays out. Someone's got a penalty turn, but I'm not quite sure who it is. Geez, you'd hate to have a penalty be sandwiched inside, but I certainly saw a red flag there. We might just take a quick look at the replay here. All right, let's see what happened. All right, there's the start. There's some screaming. Do you know which boat it is, Ash? Not sure. Anyway,
couldn't see an infringement there.
someone did. Yeah, there it is. There. That's the boat number 4, I reckon. That's Henley Sailing Club. Alex Alder doing a turn.
She's not going to be too happy with that this early in the race.
Oh, actually, is it? No, No, it's boat 6. That's the CYC. It's the kids.
Oh, no.
Oh, Carter Baker going too hard too early. And he will have a bit of catching up to do.
The Henley Sailing Club actually looking quite good there.
I might just check in with our on-water reporter, Curtis. Now, Curtis, did you see that incident? We'll just stay with you on audio only, but did you see that incident and what might have happened to Carter?
Unfortunately not, Harry. There's a lot of commotion happening at that start line there. It's really unfortunate for that youth team to cop a penalty like that. But look, they're looking good here. They've got their kite back up. They're getting back into the mix here. You know, there's still another lap to go and anything can happen, you know. Such a short course and such compressed racing. One bad drop, one bad drive, and these kids could be right back in it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Curtis. We're also sort of starting to see the breeze fill in over the course. How windy do you reckon it is out there?
Oh, gee, Harry, it's definitely coming in a bit stronger now. At least 12 knots here. It's beautiful flat water from the sail on, and like I keep saying, it's about picking those correct shifts as it comes across the water here. But they're definitely up pressure compared to the last race.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Curtis. Now we're back on the action here. Boats are mostly rounding that left-hand mark from our point of view here, heading in towards that Birkenhead coast. Ash, do you notice a little bit of advantage just on that coast? A lot of times, you know, depends on the breeze, but going in towards the pub there seems to be beneficial.
It does at times. It definitely seems like there's a little bit of a lift coming off of that beach as you sort of head into the shallower water there. You can come up quite a bit there. But oftentimes there's more wind on the opposite side of the course, so you definitely have to play it in the moment. There's Carter still coming down in last place.
Yeah, so Carter on screen here. There's the Birkenhead Tavern in the background, as we mentioned. I reckon there'd be a few sailors and maybe a few friends over there. I think it's a good hangout for members of the Largs Bay Sailing Club when the SA Sailing League's on. Nice and warm, nice and toasty, cold beers.
Definitely some cheers coming from the shoreline over the last couple of days. We'll see how many braved the rain to get out there today, but I'm sure there's still some fans.
And as we stay on this shot here, you can see the Fisherman's Wharf Market, the Quest Hotel, just the pontoons there of Port Adelaide. This absolutely iconic venue of Port Adelaide has just become a real mainstay for league sailing here in South Australia. And for those of our friends across Australia and the world that are fans of league sailing, I tell you what, if you want to bring an event to somewhere that's best for stadium sailing, it's right here in Port Adelaide. So how does it compare to other venues you sail in? Certainly unconventional.
It is definitely unconventional, but it's one of the best for spectators, having about 3 different locations where you can see the entire race from the shoreline, have a beer, have a coffee.
Absolutely. So if we just switch over now, you'll start to see the other camera angle here of Carter, and you should be able to get a good handle on where he is relative to the rest of the fleet. So there are boats going around, there are some kites up, and a lot of the whole fleet again going around that far mark. So, you know, we sometimes see for 5 or 10 minutes, Ash, the course just kind of clock in at a certain angle. As, I don't know, a southeasterly gust comes through that Dock 1 precinct. But then sometimes you get it completely the other way for a longer period of time. The sailors obviously just got to stay alert, know where the advantage side is and work from there. What have you noticed in your time in this regatta?
Well, the advantage side can shift at any given moment. With fairly sizable gusts out there, that wind's just dropped quite a bit again now, which might play into Carter's advantage, being quite a light team. He's got a bit of ground to make up at the moment though. Looking at the blue kite, it's doing quite well at the moment, out on starboard jibe. Yeah,
absolutely. So that blue kite out to the right, I reckon that's boat 1, might be Largs Bay Sailing Club, and boat 4 is the other one, which is the Henley Sailing Club team of Alex Alder. So there's the scoreboard on the right. You can see boat 3 has been eliminated. We had to do a bit of juggling. That was Damien Carey actually in boat 4, but now with the reshuffle, that is the current state of play. And I tell you what, Carter's got a nice little ride there. Let's switch back to this on-water camera and we can see him absolutely sending it down here, and he's pretty much heading to the bottom mark. So he may well just pull this one out.
Seems like he's just had quite a lucky header bringing him down towards that mark.
Looking to set up for a jibe. This tells me he might want to go around the right-hand mark and get back out into that pressure. So jibing early. And, oh, no, he's on the lay for the other one. So I guess he could go either way here. Crossing behind boat 5. That is Adelaide Sailing Club Alex Blacker. So it's going to be a close race here.
He's definitely still in this race.
For those just joining us, we are here at the Maughan Thiem SA Sailing League right in the heart of Port Adelaide. We've had one boat eliminated already, which was Henley Sailing Club's number 1 team, Damien Carey, and we're left with 5 teams. We'll do one more elimination race after this one, and then that will show us basically the final 3 boats that go into a first to 2. So what do you think of the format, Ash? It's a bit different, but I suppose the team that wins the last race of the day wins the regatta.
That's right. I mean, it's something that we're definitely not used to as sailors, but it keeps it much more exciting for the spectators, that's for sure.
Now our drone's back up in the air while they've got a break in the rain, so we may as well take a good look at this angle. And there's that boat out to windward there, boat 4, which is Henley Sailing Club, Alex Alder. She's ahead of a few boats here, and she'll be probably feeling a little bit safer maybe than she was a half an hour ago. But nonetheless, she is, maybe not. It's not moving very quick.
She's just slowed down quite a lot.
Who's coming inshore there? I reckon we've got boat 5, Blackers, Adelaide Sailing Club, and Carter.
And 6.
The wily fox. Well, not really wily, I suppose he's pretty young, isn't he? But the umpires are following this partnership pretty closely as Alex Blacker tries to save himself from elimination here and avoid the young guys coming through. So, bit of attacking duel. What would you be doing in this situation? Would you be covering or would you be looking for clear air?
I think I'd be doing exactly what Blackers has just done and just try to sit on top of last place. It's going to be very difficult to get through from there. Yep, Carter's going to get out of it again. He's tacked back.
And I mean, I suppose if you're Blackers and you dump on Carter and then Southie dumps on him, well, it doesn't really matter as long as you don't come last, right?
No, that's right. It's a different mindset in these races. Just beat one boat.
So as our drone sort of starts to pan around, we'll see the finish line. The first boat has crossed the line. Again, that doesn't really matter who that is, but I reckon that is Luke Stevens there in Largs Bay Sailing Club Team 1 and in boat 1 as well. So he survives elimination again. Let's get a nice close-in shot of this start line if we can. Kieran, get in there and see how we're looking. All right, this is going to be close.
The next 3 boats have just come into quite a bit of pressure.
Boat number 2 there is Grange Sailing Club. These guys have been pretty solid. Jason Clark doesn't helm anything other than league sailing. So, but still seems to manage to do it okay. He comes through in second.
Been told he's come out of retirement just for us.
And then third, we've got the picture-in-picture of Carter, who is currently in last place. Boat number 4, Alex Alder, formerly Alex South, crossed the line, and then Alex Blacker in 5th. Well, unfortunately, Carter Baker has been eliminated.
What an upset.
Jeepers, we said that it could happen with one of the top qualifiers going out cold in that race.
That's right, that penalty off the start line. Can't imagine he's feeling too good about it right now. Probably a few choice words on that boat.
Absolutely. So Carter Baker comes through. We've got Curtis Mitchell on the water. Now Curtis is sneaking over there to Carter. He might not be too stoked about that result, but Curtis, can you introduce us to our next eliminated skipper and give us a bit of an insight into how that one went?
Yep, Harry, we'll just come alongside Carter now. Just want to say, his crew did such an amazing effort after that start, though. Now we've got Carter here who's going to talk us through it. Buddy, just walk us through that start there. What happened?
Oh, well, I was coming in a bit early. Saw Blackers behind me, didn't think he had room in there, and he just somehow got the protest. I didn't think the umpire's in the right position to call it, but I'm just on water now.
Unlucky, mate. And that shift you had on that second run down, it paid off really well for you. You came in and gained a position back there. That must have felt good for a minute.
It did. I should have drive back and took the mark with Clarksy, but it is what it is.
Do you enjoy the format though, mate? It's good fun sailing out here, right? It's close competition. You're out here with some of the best in South Australia.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and I'm very happy how far we made it. New team, first event, very happy. Pretty good.
That's awesome, man. Good to hear. You guys looked awesome on the water. So just really unlucky there on the start, mate.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Thanks for that one, Curtis. What did you make of that race down there on the water, mate? It certainly had a bit of everything. Is it the teams that are just avoiding the carnage that are the ones that are coming through and saving themselves from the hassle?
There was a couple of good shifts on that course. I'm not sure if you watched Luke Stevens in boat number 1, so went on the eastern side there, managed to sneak out in front, and Carter did the same thing. He followed out that side, got better breeze, and managed to get back in front of Grange for a second there. But as soon as Blackers has got in front and just locked him out of the course, it just becomes a game of making sure you're not last over the line, and Blackers did that really well, and unfortunately for Carter, it just didn't pay out for him.
So what happens here now, Curtis? 4 boats left, 1 more elimination race. Who do you think is on the chopping block?
Oh, buddy, this is a really tough crew here. There's really good sailors, some of the best in South Australia, and as we just keep seeing each race, the person who gets that start line and nails it, gets out clean, they're just going to dominate it. So, watch that start line, watch that pin really carefully. You'll see a boat jump out in front. They're probably going to be your winners here, and the boat that gets locked out behind, they're not going to do so well.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time, Curtis. We're going to head back into the central commentary position as we prepare for the next race. The start boat is jostling for position. And, Ash, what did you make of that one?
It was a little bit of a shock, to be perfectly honest. Some just excellent sailing from Luke Stevens, though. You can't argue with that. Got out in front early and just managed to hold on to that lead. Was able to choose his position on the course, and didn't that show with that massive lead when he came through the finish line. So we'll see if he can pull it up with another first in the next race.
Yeah, so this drone shot here, in the background you can see, may as well talk about the region while we're at it.
Go on.
We've got in the background there just that sort of eastern side of the central Port Adelaide sort of CBD, so to speak. There's a few houses there as well, but in the distance there is the Dock 1 development. Dock 1s were sponsors of the Dockside Festival, and some fantastic sort of new developments coming up here in Port Adelaide, certainly becoming a more appealing place to live. Ash, you've done a lot of sailing down this part of the world, a proud member of Largs Bay Sailing Club. What makes the port so great?
Well, from a sailing perspective, I mean, just being able to see the boats out there, and it's completely different to ocean racing where it's a little bit more predictable, but the precinct in itself is really starting to come up with some brand new houses. Everything's looking nice and schmick, some nice little cafes and breweries popping up. Like, definitely a lot more to do here these days. A great place to hang out.
Absolutely. So we're inside 2 minutes now for this third elimination race. This will bring the elimination series to an end. And one of these four is going away empty-handed, doesn't get to race off in the grand final. I tell you what, like Curtis said to us, it's basically all to play for here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it looks to be just a little bit lighter at this top end of the course, but it's managing okay. So the boats are sort of starting to approach. Nice drone shot there of the Birkenhead Bridge in the background. You may notice that the course is a slightly sort of different position to what we're used to, like we mentioned in this precinct. But it's still a reasonable course length. A bit shorter. The races are happening a bit quicker, but it's still 10-minute races or so.
Yeah, I think that definitely actually allows the sailors to show their skills a little bit more. These short races, like we just saw in that last race, no mistakes can really happen, and those people who've got their manoeuvres absolutely down can get through the start clean, are really going to show their skills here.
Alrighty, so we're now inside 1 minute. Boats are starting to head towards the line. We've got a good shot here on camera right now of the boats approaching. Might try and get a little bit of a closer look at this TV. Looks like boat 5, that's Alex Blacker. He's got holding position on a couple of these boats with a nice pin there. And we've got someone sneaking in front of him. Doesn't really matter as long as he don't come last. So,
Jack, you're going live.
Tell you what, you wouldn't want to be boat 4 now up to windward there. That's Henley Sailing Club, Alex Alder.
That's right. Luke Stevens is in a controlling position there.
I reckon he's going to jibe off straight away here, Luke, as well. Good shot here on water. And they are racing.
Fantastic start from number 1.
Kite goes up nicely. There's not much breeze. He's going to have to heat it up to get that kite full. Jib goes down. Beautiful start for Luke Stevens. All class there. Alex Blacker comes around next. And then it's boat 2. Grange Sailing Club before Alex South in 4th. Great shots here of the boats. Thanks to our on-water media team, Jack Fletcher, Curtis Mitchell out there, getting us all the action. There's the big fella, Plugger Geddes, reeling it in. Davin Connergrave, Georgie Camp and Jason Clark. These guys have shown a lot of skills over the last couple of days, especially with that keelboat knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely. And Plugger looking after these boats for a while there from their onset. He's got a bit of inside knowledge on board.
Yeah, he was the YSF head coach at the CYC when the boats were commissioned. Boat 4 here. This is Alex Alder. Tell you what, she'll be hungry for this. Just want to get into that final 3 because then anything can happen, you know what I mean?
That's right. She might be able to get inside them at the mark here.
All right, just a nice distance shot there, just as we give our camera guys a rest. His camera is pretty heavy. We always tell him he should pack light, but unfortunately with all the gear and no idea, you certainly need to carry some biceps with you, that on-water team. We'll just might quickly check in, Ash, with Curtis down there. And what did you think of that start, Curtis?
That was such a controlling start by Luke Stevens there. He just got the jump on everyone, got his kite up nice and early, and then committed to that more western side of the course. It's interesting, Clarkie's gone out on the eastern side here looking for a split maybe. We'll see if that pays off for him. It's not looking too fast on that side of the course. Definitely the boats that have come out on the western side are looking good here. You probably see Jesse Mitten on the bow of boat number 5 here.
Oh,
got a bit of a rack in their kite. You know, there's moments like this that can make or break a race for you. You can be looking famous. If you get that kite tangled up, you know, boat lengths go out the door.
Yeah.
He's just decided to wing it and jibe. Looks like he's given up the spot here with Alex Alder. What do you reckon, Curtis? Is this bad news for Blacker?
Well, as we saw in the last race, it's not about coming first, it's just making sure you don't come last. So with the Grange boat heading around the other marker with a bit less breeze, I think Blackers might be safe on this side of the course.
We've got some more trouble with the kite there coming down, just getting rid of it on the upwind leg now.
Yeah, it hasn't been great for him, but he said, they're going for the early attack here to try and get out of this breeze, and here we go. So Alex Alder's tacked over as well. Going to try and cover him as much as possible to keep him locked out of this.
Let's see if he remembers to get rid of that pole.
Thanks for that one, Curtis. Now we're back on the action here. Not what you want when you're Alex Blacker. He's always prided himself on his crew work there, but he certainly puts himself in a troubling position, and Alex Alder might well live to fight another day yet again. So the tacking duel will ensue. Is this the last lap? I'm not quite sure. Or have we got one more?
What?
I'm not sure. Anyway,
one
Curtis
more, I
might be
think.
able to let us know. Curtis, how many more laps have we got?
Definitely one more, mate.
I tell you what, thanks for that, mate. It's all happening here in the central commentary position. We're certainly losing our marbles a bit, but also plenty of fans here up on the stands cheering everyone on, rain, hail or shine. So
Looks like Blackers may have got a bit of a header there, and it's not doing too well out to the right-hand side of the course.
yeah, so if you're Alex Blacker here, I tell you what, you just got to try and find something. If you can get any level of separation on the boats around you, you may end up ahead. So Blacker coming back on starboard here. That's boat 4 crossing him. That's the one he needs to beat. You can see how switchy it is, can't you, Ash?
Yeah, that's right. Just got another little header there. It'll probably come back in a second.
And this is the cross that we're looking at. Boat 2, Grange, and boat 5, Alex Blacker. Oh, little righty.
He may sneak through here on starboard tack.
You don't want to be Jason Clark right about now. That is a absolute let-off. The Grange guys were looking famous out to the left, and now they're in no breeze. They're last, and Blackers has just dumped on him. So one more lap to go. There's an umpire flag up there. Not quite sure what that one was. Curtis, got any insight?
No, sorry, Harry, I missed that one there. Something to do with boat 4 and 1 coming around that mark together there.
Yeah, okay, so it's the leaders, which doesn't really matter because I suppose they're out in front, unless it's a big flag, but I think it was a green, so...
Alex
Kites
Alder
are
looking
definitely
good there,
softened
getting
off.
the kite set first.
Yeah, so Luke Stevens again just keeping his nose clean here. He's flicked out to the left, he's just staying in clear air. I imagine he'll probably jibe back with the fleet, or at least with last place, just for a consolidation jibe here. No, last is going to follow him out, so... Oh, no.
Not looking good.
Jesus. That's not great there for Grange. They've been so clean with their sets and their drops all regatta, and then we've just got this absolute wine glass. I did share a glass of red wine with Jason last night. So
That's not the kind you want.
And then he's got the red wine glass today. So
Oh, he's fixed it.
I tell you what, just mentioning this boat here, boat 2 that's on screen right now, they've got Jason Clark on the helm. He's done a lot of keelboat sailing. Dale Geddes has done sailing all around the world. He's run his charter yacht business in the Med. And I think the main one, and obviously Georgie Kemp as well, a very experienced sailor in her own right with a very offshore-friendly surname that most of the keelboaties are used to. But Davin Conograve, he was one of the top guys on Ichiban for a lot of years. He knows how to put a boat together and he knows how to set the thing up. Do you reckon the crew work alone can get them through here, Ash?
He's got a lot of ground to make at this point. He got out of that wine glass pretty well, though. I was fairly impressed of how quickly they sorted that out. So you never know, anything could happen with a protest coming up. But at the moment, he's got a lot of ground to make up.
So the boats go round the bottom mark for the last time. This is Luke Stevens again. He's been chalk and cheese here with him at the moment, and then following him around is Henley. Geez, she's done a great job, Alex Alder, just to maintain I guess, survival. There's real survival instincts in this sort of stuff. That Henley team are just, staying alive. That's what you got to do.
Absolutely. Having a bit of trouble with their kite there now, but they've sailed really well so far. It shouldn't hurt them.
I suppose if you're them here, you've got boats following you around, you've got another one heading over the far side of the course. I suppose you just cover the boat next to you, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Take it nice and safe. Sailing really well there at the moment, though.
So boat 5 just on screen now. That one there now. More kite issues for Adelaide Sailing Club. Not fantastic outing for them just yet, but they are still ahead of Grange. There's been a split at the bottom mark. So this is the duo that we'll be following. They come back to try and cover Grange, and this will be the all-important cross. The breeze is starting to fill in down here in the port. Last boat is eliminated. It is cutthroat sailing. I tell you what, you're never normally just fighting to avoid last. If you're second last, you kind of give up on the day and forget what happens. But this is full role reversal, isn't it, for some of these sailors?
Definitely no giving up here. Sort of get one opportunity, and they're all working very, very hard at the back of the fleet right now.
Beautiful drone shots here at the port. You can see the Birkenhead Tavern in the background. And we've got the finish line starting to come into play. So I reckon if we switch back to our on-water camera and we try and follow them into the finish. This is the all-important cross. Looks like Blackers is going to tack. We just switch these cameras if we can. There's the finish. Luke Stevens goes through. And we're following Alex Blacker here for the battle to avoid elimination. He's decided to tack. That tells me it's not a good sign. We can't see Jason.
No.
Oh no, that's him there. And
hey Harry,
flopping
so
back.
Jason's still on the water here, coming in from the
I think he's well clear here, Ash. I think if we head back to our drone shot there, it looks like Blackers is well clear here in third. And there's the finish. So Blackers survives. And unfortunately, 2 of our top qualifying teams have now been eliminated. The Alexes survive, Alex Blacker and Alex Alder.
That's right.
And Luke Stevens has just been untouchable.
Well, Blackers would probably be happy with that after a few little errors there, but lives to see another day. That's Grange coming up to the finish now.
And here's Grange. We'll switch cameras if we can. We've got a close-up here of the Grange team. There they are, they go through the line. Not a great outing for these guys in that particular race, but they've had a sensational regatta. Our media boat will start to close in on them. And one thing I'm really keen to learn from these guys, Curtis, when you get the opportunity to chat to Jason, is what the Grange Sailing Club means to people here in South Australia. There's a real legacy with that yacht club. They're not an active sailing club necessarily, but they certainly have a rich history here in South Australia, and it's fantastic that this event allows the Grange Sailing Club to stay alive, so to speak. So, Curtis, we'll hand over to you, and you'll be having a chat with Jason Clark on the water.
Yeah, we're just coming alongside Jason now, and as you mentioned, representing Grange Club, just a great club of South Australia, a lot of history there. Jason, how was it, mate?
Yeah, it was good fun. It was close racing. We just missed out on one at the bottom end there. We just couldn't get back under Blackers, but yeah, we're happy to be in it. New team, great event. Look forward to seeing how these 3 go in the final. It'll be interesting to watch.
Look like you guys are having a lot of fun out there. I mean, it's tough racing, but there's all smiles on board. I mean, you're enjoying the event. You've been out here a few times now and you keep coming back.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, and the good thing is you're never out of it. The races, there's always opportunity, so it makes it really, really interesting to watch and exciting to compete in. So really, really happy. And thanks to the guys too that sail with me, Georgie, Dale and Dav, awesome. Put the crew together for this regatta, and it's we've had a good time.
That's awesome, Jason. Really good to have you here. It's great to see Grange Sailing Club out here competing and being represented by such fantastic sailors as yourselves. Good luck, mate.
Hey, Curtis, just quickly, mate, can we just stay with him for a sec, mate? Sorry, I want you to just ask Jason. Unfortunately, Jason can't hear me, but if we just quickly go up to him again. I think we've got him. Are we getting him? Yeah, we're getting him. So
we're going back after him.
Before he sails off, he's catching up. Sorry, I know this is a little bit indulgent, but if you can ask Jason, are we going to him? Yeah, we're going to him. So I just want you to quickly catch hold of him, and I want you to ask him what the Grange Sailing Club means to people here in South Australia, okay? We want to hear about the history of this club and why they're racing in this regatta.
The commentators aren't finished yet, Jason.
The commentators?
Nah, it's been a request. We want to know what the Grange Sailing Club's...
Actually, just put the headset on him. Put the headset on him.
Just give me 2 secs.
Okay, never mind.
The Grange Sailing Club. the Grain Sailing Club has been awesome for so many sailors that have been long-time high performers in South Australia. Like a lot of our parents were juniors at Grange, and it's like a foundation club. So it's great to see them represented amongst, you know, a lot of the clubs that have a lot of Saturday racing now, and just like try and keep the name going, which is good.
Awesome, thanks for that, Jason. We've all got fond memories of Grange Sailing Club, and it's good to see you guys out here representing it again.
Absolutely, thanks guys.
Have a good one, guys, bye.
Thanks for that one, Curtis, and sorry about that, Ash. I just had to ask about that one. This club, while they're not necessarily affiliated with Australian Sailing, they don't run regular racing. It's pretty much a social club, but it has. You walk into this club, and it is just vibrantly rich at how much history has been through that place.
That's right. I don't want to show my age, but I have done a few regattas there as a kid, and yeah, it's definitely worth keeping the legacy alive through this racing. They did very well, so good on them.
So now we move into the grand final series. This is where it starts to get interesting. So Ash, the next, I suppose, 4 races potentially, anywhere between 2 and 4 races is that there. Boat 1, Boat 4 and Boat 5. Largs Bay, which is Luke Stevens. Henley, which is Alex Alder. And Adelaide Sailing Club, Alex Blacker. So 3 very good friends of mine here, and dear friends of our sport. But I don't know, Luke's got a lot, I guess, all to lose here. I mean, he's been so good. Do you think he's going to be untouchable enough?
I don't know about untouchable. He sailed extraordinarily well in those first few races, so he's definitely looking good at the moment. I guess we're no longer looking at last place anymore. We're trying to get that first, and he's definitely proved that he can do that. Not to be underestimated though, Henley Sailing Club and Adelaide Sailing Clubs also sailing exceptionally well, so I think anything could still happen.
We are in sequence now. We're inside 3 minutes, so we'll be keeping you up to date with all of that. But yeah, 3 of our state's talented young sailors. I guess you could say they're in their late 20s, early 30s. They've got some great teams on board. One thing that's interesting to note here is that the Henley team is the only team in this final series that's running with the 5 people on board. So with Alex Alder on the helm, Alyssa Kelsey, Zane Chaplin, Finlay Crisp and Matt Hansen, obviously a bit of a lighter combination, decided to go for the extra person. Do you think that's a wise choice?
I definitely think there's a benefit to it. For our own boat, we definitely considered adding a 5th. I think having the extra weight on board, especially if we do get a little bit of breeze come through, is definitely going to be beneficial. But also just that extra set of hands when things start to go crazy. There might be a knot here or there. The extra set of hands, extra set of eyes, I think is definitely a benefit if you've got the weight allowance. We'll see how that comes through for them.
Yeah, I know talking to Luke Stevens in the lead up to this one, he sort of had, I suppose, a strategy that was, let's keep more room in the boat, keep it a little bit less cramped, but also fill it up with, Mark Connery, Ryan Kelly, both, big sort of heavy set, strong guys on board, and Siobhan Bruland, I suppose, on there as well to do a bit of the running around and tidying up. But I guess it's just preference, isn't it? What were you thinking when you were selecting your crew? You sounds like you're a bit on the fence either way.
We were fairly light on last year, so we were sort of looking at the forecast, 25 to 30 knots, which never eventuated. But definitely, I've watched some of the juniors at some of the bigger events, and that 5th person definitely, I reckon, is an advantage if you can allow the weight on board.
So we're just moving into the start sequence here. We've got the boat starting to set up. Now, if we can get a shot of the start line, we should be able to see them starting to set up. We're inside 30 seconds. And we've got a good water shot here of the on-water camera. If we can get it. There it is. All right, a port tacker. Luke Stevens going for the port tack of the line. Is this a miracle moment for Luke Stevens to get the first win on the board?
The kite's not filled yet.
Well, he's a long way ahead.
Definitely heading across in front though.
Let's just quickly switch cameras before we head to a replay of that one. But you can see how far ahead he is there. I guess the 2 Alexes were so focused on each other that that they weren't really worried about what the winner was doing. Let's go to a replay, Ash. What do you make of this one? All right, it should be coming up any second. This is all part of our replay. And here's the start.
Coming in hot, for sure.
Cutthroat sailing, no holds barred, and he is a long way ahead of the others now. He'll be hard to beat from here, Ash.
That was risky, but sensational start from Luke.
Obviously a Largs Bay member yourself. You're obviously cheering for your hometown team here.
I am, but I've also sailed against Blackers for a number of years in different boats, and also kind of wanting the female skipper out there to get up. She'd be the first one to win here. So yeah, definitely quietly rooting for Henley Sailing Club, although I wouldn't say that around Largs.
They might watch the replay back and ask you then. So
I'm happy with how it goes.
Yeah, so we've got the boats now. This is a great drone shot from Kieran. The kite's getting dropped, or is that a problem for Luke? I think it's a drop. Either way, he's coming into the bottom mark. Yep, nice early drop there for Luke.
Drop.
The jib's back up and a jibe around.
Got a good lead around that mark for Luke Stevens, followed closely by Blackers, Adelaide Sailing Club.
Certainly not as far ahead as he'd like to be. And again, we're following first here. This is about race wins now. So if we can get that live scoreboard up on the screen of the final series, you'll start to see that this is what it is all to play for. So no wins yet, and it's first to 2. So boats 1, 4 and 5.
Adelaide Sailing Club's tacked off, trying to get a bit of separation there, but getting covered now by Largs.
Tell you what, this is bragging rights if I've ever seen it. Luke Stevens, Alex Blacker, 2 very good friends. Blackers was a groomsman in his wedding. They're both Sharpie national champions, and I reckon this is the one time that they probably go head to head in these certain circumstances in quite a few years. So, yeah, I tell you what, if you're Luke, you probably got a small grin on your face right now.
Absolutely. He's got a little bit of speed and a little bit of height coming out there on top of Blackers, but yeah, definitely looking very good at the moment for Largs.
So if you are watching on our live stream, get in the comments, let us know what you think. It's turned out to be an okay weekend with the Dockside Festival being cancelled. It was looking a little bit grim there for a bit, but the weather managed to play the game, at least from a wind point of view, here in Port Adelaide. But the rain certainly wasn't that exciting yesterday.
Yeah,
Ash.
definitely a wet couple of days, that's for sure, but pretty good racing at the moment. We've avoided a few squalls, so they've been pretty happy with that.
So the boats are rounding the mark now. That's Luke Stevens coming round in first. Alex Blacker will follow him.
Henley Sailing Club's got a lot of ground to make up at this point in time, but again, we're following first place. Bit of a wine glass there.
All right, here's Blacker coming round now. Luke Stevens with a wine glass.
Willie let him through.
And there it is. He's shaking it out. That was a. I guess it wasn't pulling in 3 directions. That was just pulling in 2. So, and the kite drops, and it's the chase is on.
And a great hoist from Blackers there.
All right, now Luke Stevens with a jibe. He's going to head back in towards the marks. This is a pretty short course, so once you're in front, if you can keep your crew work clean, you still end up in a pretty good spot to avoid, I guess, any bad things happening. But if we just quickly switch cameras now, we've got Alex Alder coming round the top mark. A little bit far back on this one, but again, every team needs to win twice. So if Luke gets one here, it does put him on match point.
That's right, she gets another chance.
And there they go around. All right, we'll switch back now. Luke's approaching the bottom mark. Largs Bay Sailing Club could become the first 2-time winner here of the SA Sailing League and secure their berth in the Asia Pacific Finals. And the picture in picture's up now as well, which is Alex Blacker on the chase. This is the last little bit here. Do you reckon he's got it? I suppose Luke's pretty close. He'd be pretty comfy here, wouldn't he?
It's a pretty clean mark rounding, sailing well. Bit of a gap. They'd be pretty happy right now, I think.
Not a great drop again from Adelaide Sailing Club. They're leaving it a little bit late, but I suppose that didn't really slow him down. It
didn't hurt too much.
He's just got to try and lift inside of him here. He needs a nice left-hander. Try and...
And there he's got it. Oh no, he's
flopped out.
tacking around.
Yeah. And I reckon you'll see Luke go through attack right about... Yep, there it is. We'll stay with these guys all the way to the finish line. good little turnout here on the wharf in Port Adelaide. You know, braving the cold and the rain to get out here and watch all the action from the Port River. But, you know, I suppose if you don't want to brave the cold, you can watch online like, you know, hundreds of people are doing at the moment. So
that's it. It's the beauty of technology, bringing sailing to everyone.
Great to see some comments coming through. We've got Max Travers watching from Cyclone Alley, he says. Nick Bice tuning in from New Zealand. We've got Matt Young on there saying go Adelaide. And William Height, well done Carter and crew. Bad luck at the start. Blackers is known for yelling at the start. Okay, well, we'll fact check that one. But
Not that I've heard, but anyway.
It's all happening. So this shore camera is just taking a look here as Luke Stevens goes through the line to take the win. We'll get the scoreboard up and see that update. That is the race winner, Luke Stevens of the Largs Bay Sailing Club, with Siobhan Brulin, Mark Connery and Ryan Kelly. So your club, Ash.
My club.
Draws first blood.
That's right. Is that a win in every race for Luke Stevens so far? Very good.
I will just check the results. He obviously didn't participate in the first elimination race as such, because he was... that was just for the tail enders.
That's right.
But he has won... Yep, he won both elimination races, and now he's won the first grand final race. So looking very, very hard to beat at the moment. So that scoreboard has updated. You can see Largs Bay won with the bullet to open things up. Our media team is heading over to Luke at the moment. Curtis Mitchell is on board. Curtis, over to you, mate. Let's hear what happened to Luke Stevens in that race.
We're just lining up to Luke here to have a chat. He's looking great on the course there. I mean, he's just showing so much poise and dominance at the moment, but I'll hand the mic over to him. Luke, great race, mate. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. That one, actually, everything came together and we didn't have to fight back from the back, so it was, a lot more impressive, I think. So, very happy.
We saw the wine glass in the first kite set, mate. What were you thinking as that was happening?
Yeah, it wasn't great, but we sort of decided that one we'd have a good port tack start. We thought like the other races seemed like to be the way to go, and yeah, it did work out even with the whiny. So
yeah, it paid out well for you, mate. Well done. Keep it up.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Curtis, while we've got you, mate, what have you found down there? Has it been a bit of a challenge, I suppose, in seeing the Alex Blacker, Alex Alder? Obviously, a bit of a challenge for them to stay hot on Luke's heels, but the port tack start. Do you reckon he'll be able to get away with that this time?
Well, can you pull the same trick twice, Harry? That is the question. I mean, he saw something that no one else did, and even with that wine glass, he made an advantage out of it. The breeze has certainly picked up on the course as well, so that might change things for the next race. A bit more pressure. You know, we've seen that some of the kite work hasn't been the best for the teams, but it might make it a bit harder for him. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I mean, Luke's just looking so solid. He's just getting win after win after win. It's going to be a real challenge to get in front of that team of just such calm, composed, and great sailors.
Thanks, Curtis. How do you think Henley are looking out there for the next race?
Yeah, look, I was quite surprised about Alex's performance with that race. I mean, she's been in there every single race in the top 2 or 3 boats, mixing it up, like really dominating. And then I think that last bottom mark, she split out right and it didn't pay off for her with the softer breeze on that side of the course. It's quite an unusual move for her. Maybe she was looking for the split. But yeah, it was unusual to see her so far back, and she's been really up there mixing it up with the top boats for this event so far. Here's hoping she can get back in it and keep this event going a bit longer.
So Curtis, just one last one, mate. You mentioned that the breeze is sort of starting to pick up. Is it just momentarily picking up and then it's sort of dying out? Are there still a lot of holes in this, or do you think it's filling out across the course, and do you think there's a certain sort of advantage direction to it at the moment?
So it's definitely filling in more since we've been starting the racing today. It's more consistent breeze, a bit more solid. Because of the close confines of this Port Adelaide area, it's going to be shifts that happen around the buildings, shifts that happen around the streets, and like Luke did with that port start attack, you got to find that advantage in the shifts and make the most out of it, and that's the best part about racing in Port Adelaide here.
Awesome, thanks for that, Curtis Mitchell, our on-water reporter, bringing us all the action from the Port River. And I'll tell you what, Ash, this is now pretty dire. If you're Alex Blacker or Alex Alder, you got to go for a hero moment as well, because there is no second place.
That's right. We might see a port start from one of the others this race. Who knows?
You got to really try everything, and the boats are now on the approach. We're not in a sequence just yet. But if you can, we just hopefully see what happens here. But I reckon we've got, I reckon this one's still a little bit away from starting. So Ash, what do you make of Luke's sailing? I mean, you've seen him obviously down at your club. He's been doing a lot of fireball sailing. He won the last nationals. Like we said, a former Sharpie national champion. He's done a lot of keelboat sailing on Secret Men's Business, Hooligan, all of that sort of thing. Is he just a real sort of, I guess, cross trainer when it comes to sailing? He can sail across everything.
It definitely seems like it at this point. You know, everywhere he shows up, he's definitely committed, that's for sure. And a lot of hours on boats, and it's showing through here with some really good crew work. But also, not just him, his crews are all fairly accomplished in their own right. So he's managed to put a team together that's definitely capable of winning. And we could see that in the next race, potentially. Yeah,
absolutely. And let's talk about those other two teams as well. We were talking about Alex Alder before. You know, we fantastic to see her as the highest placed female helm in this event, but also, showing the boys, you know, how it's done as well. You know, how good is it to see her out there giving it her all?
Yeah, really good to see her performing at this level. Not only that, but throughout the regatta, we've had more teams choosing to have a second female when it's not mandated, more female skippers than we've seen before. So I think this event's definitely a great pathway for the women coming up through the sport, for sure.
And of course, Alex Blacker representing the Adelaide Sailing Club. He has he's done a lot of different stuff over the years. He sailed F18 Cats for a bit. He's doing a lot of time in multi-hulls down on the lower lakes, and then migrating into Sharpies, doing a lot of keelboat sailing himself as well. I suppose it's that similar sort of sentiment to Luke, that he's sailing a lot of different stuff and can apply that knowledge.
Yeah, that's right. He seems to just absolutely smash everything he touches these days, Alex. A few issues with the kite in the last race, but I think if they can get that crew work sorted for the next one, he's going to be a bit of trouble for Luke. He's going to make it hard for him.
That was Jesse's fault though, surely.
Well, that's what we'll say. I'm sure that's what Blackers will say too.
So we're in sequence now. 2 minutes to go now, and looks like we can see the Henley boat sort of circling around the pin end. If that is correct. Yeah, they're sort of just mingling. We've got a little bit of tussling here happening between Blacker and Stevens, and that scoreboard is now permanently up on the screen. It's match point for Largs Bay Sailing Club. One more race for them to win, or could we see someone attack them, maybe try and draw a penalty to keep this thing alive?
Oh, that's right. Still anyone's game, but Luke is definitely looking pretty good. Got the magic boat number 1 as well.
Yeah, that's certainly become a bit of a sticking point around the rigging area, but nonetheless, you've got to be in it to win it, and you've got to sail well as well. So they're just sort of setting up here. It's not quite a match race with 3 boats, but I tell you what, it's pretty bloody close to it. If you try to match race one boat, you let the other one go, it's trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
So you kind of got to match race 2 at the same time. What would be your tactic in this one?
Oh, get in front, extend the lead. No, definitely you want to see if one person ends up out the back again, then it does really become about match racing.
All right, we're in the final. We're in the final sort of throes of the start here, getting close to it. On the approach, not exactly sure how long is left. All right, that's Alex Alder closest to screen. Then it's Alex Blacker. I reckon that was 10 seconds.
Looks like Luke's coming in, trying to get that controlling position down to leeward of the others.
That was 20 seconds there, sorry. So still a little bit to go. They're sort of more heading towards that the boat end of the line there. 10 seconds. Well, they might run out of runway here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they're off. I reckon that was just maybe a clear start. Luke is a little bit behind, but he might have some clear air and get the pressure first. What do you make of it, Ash?
That's right, a little bit of kite trouble up in front there, so Luke may come out of this cleanly. He's got the kite field now.
And that Henley team finally getting the kite sorted out of that wine glass now as well.
Great start from Henley though. That's Luke jibing off there.
So again, and Blacker's jibes off as well. So this is where that hard sort of situation comes in, where you don't want to lose a position, but you also got to race for first. So, you know, Blackers is sort of now chasing Luke, and he's let Alex Alder go off to the other side there, where there might
looks
well
like
be
that
breeze.
pressure's died out quite a lot in the centre of the course there as well. Alex still moving fairly well on the rear of the screen.
I got the picture-in-picture there, which is following behind Alex Blacker. But you can see from the drone shot that the two blue kites, Largs and Henley, are looking the goods at the moment. Poor old Blackers is just slow to go off that line. A jibe here now from Largs Bay Sailing Club. And this will be the all-important cross.
He's going to cross clear in front of the other two boats.
All right. They're going for a drop. I don't know how close. Oh, yeah, right. There's the mark. So, Luke, Steve, we're going to get a split here, Ash. So, this could be really interesting. We're going to see Alex Alder and the Henley team head out towards that Dock 1 side while Luke takes it inshore here with the Birkenhead coast.
That's right, rounding both marks at the exact same time there, those first two teams.
I tell you what, I'd love to see this go to another decider. We need to see Alex Alder win this one. Try and force it out to a third and hopefully a fourth race.
Moving well, potentially Luke's getting a little bit of a header there. We're going to see a cross in a minute, so we'll be able to tell.
So you can see the Diver Derrick Bridge in the background there, Port River Expressway, and some of those big ships. Like I've said many times before, this is an active port, and there is plenty of shipping activity. Here's the all-important cross, and Luke does appear to be well clear in first place. He's going to flop just underneath though, and this may force Alex out to the other side unless they are on the ley line here.
Luke definitely came through with more pressure off that port hand mark.
And we should see this drone shot now, which will give us a good look at Luke's lead. So 1 lap down, or about to approach this windward end. And this is, I guess Alex Alder, Alex Blacker starting to see this regatta slip away.
Alex Blacker not too far behind Henley Sailing Club, although it's first place that we're looking for, and Luke is still looking very good at the moment.
Geez, what do you got to do to beat this guy? This could well be the last race. Let's get that scoreboard back up while we can. And we should be able to see that he is 1 point down in a first to 3. We will see a split here. He's got to, like I said, he's got to try something, and he'll go for a split. And I feel like this might just put Luke even further in front. Another wine glass. Not sure who's packing these kites. Not quick, not quick.
He's got a little bit of room to play here though. Let's hope he can get it sorted soon.
Oh, and the skipper even takes it into his own hands to try and pull it out. This is always good to watch. This is the drama we needed just when he had match point.
We've got a clean hoist behind him. Could that be the end?
He goes up to windward to try and straighten it out. Looks like the kite. There it is, finally. But he's lost some valuable ground there on the Henley Sailing Club team. And we don't know what's happened to Alex Blacker on the other side. So this is the all-important jibe here for Largs. Managed to get it sorted. Henley jibe's just inside. And I think Blackers is well and truly out the back door at the moment, looking at him out that far side. But tell you what, to get a nice little southwesterly gust and anything could happen here.
That's right. I wouldn't call him out the back door just yet.
So Alex Alder sneaks through. Valuable, valuable crew work here in these dying moments of this final series. And she has put herself in a great position to join Largs Bay Sailing Club on match point. But if anyone can fight their way out of this position, it's Luke Stevens. Blacker's now coming in. This cross will be really interesting. He's got starboard here as well, Ash.
He's got quite a bit of speed coming through here.
What are they going to do? Is he going to call them, or is he going to force a jibe? They might try and take the stern here, and I reckon they are.
That's
Luke's
it.
jibing.
Blacker's looking excellent there.
And Blackers will jibe just to leeward. Interesting call there, but I think the mark might not be too far away. Luke going for the separation.
That's right, kite's coming down now.
Yep, so Blackers has pulled the kite down. And Snook is separating. So this will be the all-important rounding. Will this Birkenhead side be the advantage yet again?
Much closer racing this time round. It's still anyone's game.
Blackers has come from the death.
He's beat him around that mark by about 5 seconds, so we'll see
Alex
if it
Alder
paid
attacks, as does, and I reckon there's a nice right-hand lift compared to Largs here. If you look at Blackers as he comes out of this tack, that's Southie there.
Henley.
Yeah, I got those wrong that whole way through, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wow. So it's Henley. Just we wanted it this way, Ash. This is what we were talking about.
Gosh, she's moving quick there as well. Got a bit of pressure up.
All right, so this is where you can see on from this shot here, Ash, that Alex Alder has to make a decision. Which way is she going to go?
Oh,
She
nice
can't.
little gust
She
there.
can't cover each boat, so she needs to make a choice. Does she go to the far side to cover Luke Stevens, or does she come back to cover off Blackers? So I think you'd be looking at the favoured end of the finish line here, wouldn't you?
I think you would, yeah. That's the tack happening there. Is that Luke Stevens right behind her?
It is just off her hip. So this drone shot should give us the finish line.
They're going to have a tough time catching her from there.
Here we go. This is a great shot of the finish. Is it going to be Luke
Luke's
Stevens, the
coming
champion,
gently.
with speed? Or is it going to be... There's attack and room. We need an umpire. Oh, it looks like...
Oh, she's just got him there.
It looks like Alex Alder has taken the win. We will await an umpire decision here. Let's get that scoreboard up if we can. There's a
Green
green flag.
flag.
A green flag.
Well done, Henley.
And I reckon we'll get that scoreboard up and we'll see it update. But I reckon Alex Alder took the win there by the narrowest of margins to force a race 3, Ash.
It's exciting sailing.
Oh, wow. All right, so now we're just going to cross down. I do apologise to the viewers for getting those two boats wrong, literally for the back half of that entire race. We've got Curtis Mitchell down on the water. Now, Curtis, can you get Southie for us, or Alex Alder? I keep calling her Southie, but pull up and let us know how she went.
We're chasing it down now. What a finish. That was amazing to watch. Here's Alex. Alex, talk us through that. How was that?
I don't think I can talk anyone through that, not even these guys. That was pretty hectic. We were out of it at the start, I think, a little bit, but we had a really nice upwind and then a great option coming down the other side that no one else looked at. So, I don't know. It worked, whatever it was.
Yeah, we saw you pick that shift and it just paid off so well for you. Just got you out in front and then bring it home like that. That was amazing to watch. Well done.
That's a good way to do it, wasn't it? But they wanted the drama, so here's the drama.
Fantastic. We're keeping the series alive now. One more and bring it home, right?
Fingers crossed.
Fantastic, guys. Good luck.
While we've got
Hey,
you,
that was a
Curtis.
cracking finish there.
While we've got you, Curtis, obviously they went around that far mark and went for the split. What was the obviously a bit? Did they just get a bit of pressure? Did they have a better angle? What was it on that
they got a bit of
Birkenhead
pressure
side
in a
that paid
clearer
off?
Lane. Alex Blackers and Luke Stevens are playing with each other a little bit, and Alex South just got a free lane, managed to sneak up the inside, got to that mark first, and just got around nice and smooth. And then the split again, coming back up to the finish. Man, that was amazing to watch her and Luke Stevens come into that bottom mark.
That was very exciting on the finish line there, and definitely a clear protest on the finish line.
Yep. Alex South managed to complete her tack, get on the starboard and just lock him out of there. It was a fantastic manoeuvre for her, just solidifying that win for her.
That's right, very clever on the finish line.
Was it Luke calling? Was it a boy room? I guess protest that he was making there. I suppose he had to try something,
that's
didn't
the
he?
argument he was making, but she was clear on the starboard before he made that call, so that gave her right of way.
Yeah, no collision. They got through the line. The siren
Yep.
went, and that is that. So we should have it 1-1 on this scoreboard now. And poor old Alex Blacker sitting there in third with no win yet. But hey, if he gets a win here, then it goes to the ultimate sudden death race 4, which I think the viewers really want to see. Ash.
That's right, I want to see it too. Doesn't get any more exciting than that. And he was not far behind, Harry. He definitely could get up there.
Yeah, so this weather is interesting. Our drone is inshore at the moment, just as this rain sort of passes through. Doesn't appear to be too much breeze, but we are into a sequence. So you can see on camera now, that is, you got our scoreboard there, Largs and Henley both now on match point. First person to take a race win off Luke Stevens since Friday. And we're now, I guess, going to wait and see what happens here. If you're Alex Blacker, what are you doing, Ash?
Whew, I guess trying to strategize, trying to get that start line nailed in. I think getting that early lead, but definitely playing those shifts up the course is what paid off for Henley there.
And our favourite, or your favourite, Alex Alder, for the girls as well. She's in there and she's on match point. What I guess if you're so there's two different mindsets, right? You're going in now. You've got, if you're Luke Stevens or Alex Alder and their teams, you've got basically a semi-conservative need to win but need to make sure the other doesn't win approach. Then you've got Alex Blacker, Adelaide Sailing Club, all bets are off, needs a race win to stay alive. Are we looking at a cowboy moment from the port side for him?
Look, we probably are, or a few cowboy moments. I think they'll just be throwing absolutely everything at it, any opportunity.
We're now inside 1 minute, so there's two boats on screen. We'll try and get the lay of the land and see who we've got. But I reckon that there is on the left of screen, that's Luke Stevens. And just behind him is the Adelaide team, boat 5, Alex Blacker. So, interesting choice. They're leaving the match point, Alex Alder, all on her lonesome down the other end.
That's right. That could pay off for Alex Alder down there, actually. I think last race she did well by not mucking around with the others too much. Went out on her own, played the shifts well. Definitely paid off.
So, or maybe not. This is Alex Alder here. There's a protest on screen. Let's see if we can get the umpire on screen. And here comes the flag. What do we got? Red
flag.
And I don't know which boat he called. Curtis, what's going on down there?
Unfortunately, I missed most of that one, but it was two boats heading towards each other. No one wanted to give way or give ground, and there's been a penalty issued to boat number 4 here.
And that is a start as well. So Alex Alder at the back. Getting these boats mixed up all the time, aren't I? But Alex Alder there now back on track after her penalty, and the kite is going up. So if we just track to the wide shot now, the red kite there is Alex Blacker. But it's Luke Stevens that is sailing away on the right-hand side of screen. So I'll try and get a bit of a look here as to... I'm just having a quick look over the race course. There is very little breeze, and it looks like Blackers has taken the lead. So this could be a really interesting shot. What do you make of it, Ash?
Well, that penalty actually hasn't cost the Henley Sailing Club all that much ground. They came out of that well, got their kite straight up, and they're looking okay. So a little bit of trouble with the red kite.
The red kite here. Beautiful drone shots from our man in the sky, Kieran Cowley from Beard Vision, who is he's doing a fantastic job of giving us all the aerial vision here in Port Adelaide. And Alex Blacker, I tell you what, no wine glasses here for him. We need him to stay ahead to force this to a race 4, sudden death.
He's got a great lead off that start, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was just, again, keeping your nose clean. There is an incident on the start line, and who is it that benefits from it all? The one that's not there.
Absolutely.
So this is all about keeping your nose clean. We're just on camera now here with the Henley team. Very, very light winds out there at the moment. You can see everyone sort of sitting down to leeward, trying to stay out of trouble, trying to keep the boat moving.
That's right.
Skipper right down to leeward there as well. Do you do that a bit in the lighter gear?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to just keep it rolling. Everyone on the floor. So coming up to the top mark.
We'll just see Blackers here coming around. Going for the windward drop. Not bad there. Just got to get that jib on. Not too bad a rounding. And he's on the side that he wants to be. So he's in a really controlling position here, Blackers. And he's going to flop straight away. Must have seen something out to that left side.
Not a lot of breeze out with Luke Stevens there at the moment. Alex is coming through with a good bit of speed.
I tell you what, this could not get any better for the spectators. We've got people on the absolute edge of their seat here in Port Adelaide, watching it all happen. We've got Jason Clark over here. We might just see if we can grab Jason Clark and bring him into the central commentary position. A man that was out there. Oh, man, overboard. Oh no!
Is that Luke Stevens?
No, it is the
Alex.
It is the Henley boat. They're back up and running. Jason, come on into the middle here with us, mate. We've got Jason Clark, skipper of the Grange Sailing Club team. Jace, what's it like out there? It seems a bit light, maybe, and a few gusts, but is it pretty challenging?
Yeah, it is. It's challenging, but there's always opportunities, which makes it really exciting. You know, you're never out of the race. There's always something that's going to happen. So it makes it really exciting from a competitor's point of view. And watching now, it's great. You know, anyone can win, even from here.
So, as a spectator, now having been eliminated, you want to see this go to a fourth decider, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like any other spectator now, we want to see as many races as we can, and an exciting last race to decide the winner would be awesome.
So, say, what are we looking at here? It's evened out a little bit there between Blackers and Southie, but I don't know. Have you got a favourite that you're going for?
No, not particularly. I mean, they're all sailing well. Blackers is probably, if he cleans up his bottom mark a little bit, I think he's lost a bit, and Southie's quite in the mix boat on boat, so it's exciting to watch. I think all the boats have got their strengths and weaknesses, which makes it exciting.
So, and just lastly, we asked you on the water, but mate, good to get the Grange Sailing Club back out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Grange is we grew up around the club, and there's a lot of long-term people who've been really successful in SA that have come out of Grange. It's good to represent them, get to the final, win a couple of, be in a couple of races, and to get fourth out of, however many teams entered, I think's great for us and great for the club. So, yeah, loving it. End of Grange Road.
Come down for a beer on Friday night.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time, Jace.
Cool. Fantastic job.
All right, now this top mark. It's Alex Blacker will round in first position, Ash. One more lap to go.
Yeah, he's definitely sailing well this race.
It is very, very light.
We've still
very
got Alex
light.
coming around in second.
So he's got the kite up. It's not filling quickly. Like we said, there's not heaps of breeze, but they're doing the best they can. Skipper right down to leeward there. If you're Adelaide and you want to get the boat leaning a certain way, just put Jesse Minton there. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Kite's just starting to fill now. Maybe coming into a little bit more breeze there.
We'll just see if we can get Curtis on. Now, Curtis, just your audio only here, mate. But are you seeing anything special out there? Where's the breeze on the race course?
From my eyeballs, the breeze is actually more on the western side, but they've all chosen this eastern side of the course, and they're all sort of chasing Blackers now. Just want to give a huge shout out to Team Henley here. They actually lost one of their crew members at that last mark and managed to get them back on board, and didn't lose any positions. So that was really well done from them.
Absolutely. Now, Curtis, are you expecting Blackers to kind of tidy this one up, provided he's gets all the crew work right? He seems to be in a pretty controlling position.
He is in such a controlling position. The crew work's looking awesome. They just completed a very tidy dive. They've got pace. They're controlling the course. I mean, I'm quite confident looking at the course at this point. Blackers might stitch this one up. So he's hoping this final series stays alive a bit longer with Blackers getting the win, eh?
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Curtis. Now, Ash, where to from here? If you're Luke or Southie, you're trying to. You're on match point. Thought it was all in the box seat, but now it's looking like you're in a very different position.
That's right. It's definitely going to be harder from here. Although I'm just watching Luke come down the course with a little bit more pressure than the other two. Be interesting to see another angle to see if he's catching Blackers at all there.
Drone is coming in, just a bit of rain, so we need to obviously be wary of that with the electronics up in the sky. But some great shots here from Brad Housestead, our on-land camera operator. He's got a great little tent that I think the guys bought from BCF this morning on their way down. That's keeping him mostly dry. So obviously a lot of contingency planning for this broadcast, but Alex Blacker does seem to be in a good spot there. He's doing a windward drop, and this is back up to the finish for the ASC guys. All right, Jason said before, he's got to tidy up these bottom marks. We've just got a dog that's joined us in the central commentary position. Baloo, hey, over this way, mate. Sorry. Baloo. Sorry to our guests. We've got a couple of beautiful golden retrievers here. These are Blackers golden retrievers, I believe. So, yeah, they'll... Sorry about that. I know those that are watching at home that would know these dogs know that they're very inquisitive. So, all right, back onto the race. Thanks for that, Em. Blackers will watch this back tonight, and I think he'll really enjoy that. All right, here he is flopping back to cover Southie. And it's just about getting to the finish line now, isn't it? Forcing the race 4 rather.
That's it. It should be a clear run from this point forwards for Adelaide Sailing Club.
Now, no sign of Luke Stevens. I think we'll get a wider shot now. We can see that he's still heading out on starboard tack off to that left side. I suppose you've got to throw a Hail Mary at some point in these winner-only matches, don't you?
That's right. Luke Stevens got caught up in a very light patch around that rounding there and just sort of stopped for a little while. He'll be looking at the next race, though, to get that win.
All right, and here he is, Alex Blacker, Victoria Young, Sean Keane and Jesse Mitten. As they start to approach the top end of this line, we'll be looking to force a 4th and final decider. If we just switch shots here, you can see that they're all really huddled in there because it is so light, but you can see that that is Luke Stevens in the background. So Blackers has managed to hold a pretty good lead here. A lot of tiller movement as they try to keep this thing moving. Trying to sail towards the pressure. And here he goes. Now that's the finish line. You can see one end of it there. All right. And there's the other end. So Blackers, I think he's laying there. Let's switch back to the onboard shot now. Got the on, yep. And there they are.
Hiking out to Lewis, working hard.
And then Blackers decides to sit up to windward. Yep, need a better look at the telltales.
The crew can sort that out.
Unreal stuff there. This is going right down to the wire. Alex Blacker and the Adelaide Sailing Club team take the race win.
Well
and the
done,
crowd
Blackers.
goes wild. Wowee. Let's get that scoreboard up as well as we take a bit of a look at it. It is, yeah, we'll see it update on the screen. So it'll say there it's, so you'll see that Adelaide number 0 change to the number 1 shortly. But yeah, this is everyone on match point. One more race, winner take all.
That's it.
Did you think it would come down to this?
I thought Luke Stevens was looking really good after those first 2 races, but this shifty light air definitely keeps it interesting. Couldn't have asked for a better final though.
So I think our media boat should be heading over to them shortly. Hopefully get a bit of an insight from the water, from Blackers. Race winner, Adelaide Sailing Club. So, there's the scoreboard. It's all locked at 1 apiece. The next winner wins the whole thing. How would you feel if you were out there?
Whew, I think the adrenaline would be pumping for sure. They'd all be wanting to go into game mode right now, I reckon. Nice little soaking between races just to keep it interesting. Alrighty.
Now we've got Curtis Mitchell down there on the water with Alex Blacker. Now, Curtis, over to you, mate. Let's hear from Blackers.
Just here with Blackers, who's stitched that one up to keep his finals alive. Blackers, talk us to that race, mate.
Yeah, mate. Look, I was pretty concerned. I thought that first race, Snooker's cleared out and found his legs. It was good to see Southie jamming in, and we were a bit nervous we might come out with no bullets on the table, but it was good to tuck that one away. And yeah, I think it's as good as it gets in terms of finals, I think. So, yeah.
So it's winner takes all for the next race. You feeling the pressure, mate, or are you going to go into this one and stitch it up?
No, we'll just sail like we have been, just keep pushing ourselves. Hopefully find a bit of breeze because there's nothing out here at the moment. So, yeah, I guess we'll just take it as it comes and push hard and, yeah, hopefully take it away. So.
Best of luck, Alex. We're wishing you all on. Fantastic work and good luck. The breeze, as you said, has died right out here. It's going to be a shifty race for you.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we've got you, Curtis. You know, you mentioned that there's not much breeze and there's a bit of rain starting to fall now. We've seen this the last few days. Patches can, you know, come and go, but are we at least seeing some small gusts coming across the racecourse?
I'm not going to lie, Harry, it's looking pretty dire out here. It's dropped right off. There's very minimal breeze on the course. It's going to be a very tactical race now. Just, you know, get your boat moving off the start line, keep it moving, go through those motions nice and clean, and just pray you find those little lanes of breeze on the course right now. It's very different conditions to the race we had three races ago.
That's right. It's looking a little bit more like the qualifying rounds now. We're just definitely keeping that boat rolling, keeping clear air, trying to keep the manoeuvres working well is definitely going to pay off now that there's not a lot of breeze.
Yeah, so Curtis, while we've got you, mate, and we're just sort of in a bit of a holding pattern, do you think, do you think any one of these particular teams sort of has the edge, or is it looking more like potentially bit of you throw a blanket over all of them?
Mate, you've just watched the same 3 races I did. This could go any way. We have some of the best sailors from the best clubs of South Australia competing right now, and these people are really at the top end of their performance of their sport. This could go any way, and it's just going to take that one person to find that right shift, that little bit of breeze first, and step out in front, keep it a nice clean race, and they'll stitch this up. But man, don't make me pick. They're all so good.
Thanks for your time, Curtis Mitchell, our on-water reporter. So, geez, Ash, we're now just sort of sitting around waiting for some breeze, but it's deadlocked at 1 apiece. It's certainly not the time for the breeze to die out.
No, that's for sure. Just watching all the flags around the area start to droop. There's not a lot coming around the area, but all we need is a couple of knots and those boats will get going again. Definitely brings the tactics into it a little bit more now, Harry.
So we've got the Kieran's showed us the radar. We might see if we can see the radar for those of us at home that are just sort of wondering what we're dealing with here in Port Adelaide. It's a bit of a challenging environment, and we've had this all weekend. There were sort of Armageddon-like forecasts coming out on Wednesday and Thursday. Decided to press ahead with the event, and it's all come down to this. 1 race needed, and the breeze has died out. What are you... I suppose it's just a bit of a waiting game now.
That's right. Hopefully this rain can pass through and we might get a little bit of breeze. I'm just feeling a little bit coming through now. Getting very hopeful, getting a little bit excited for this final.
So we might see if our media team wants to maybe head over to one of the umpires. Curtis, can you guys maybe head over to Wayne Thompson, our chief umpire, and see what their thoughts are at this present point in time? So, Curtis, while we've got you, mate, we're just heading over to Wayne. What do you reckon the umpires are thinking about right now?
Well, their first concern is getting a race underway, assessing what the breeze is doing. Can they get a course in? Can they get a start away? And that's the priority for the race officer and umpires. You'll see Matty Salter, the race officer, looking at the wind now, assessing the course, just making sure it can be set and one can be run fairly. That's their priority. If need be, we'll go under AP, make sure the course is set correct. We'll just go over to Wayne Thompson now. Yes,
over to you, Curtis. Sorry, mate. You have a quick chat with Wayne and just want to get an idea of what's going through his head right now.
G'day, Wayne. Just talk us through what you're thinking with the sudden change in the breeze all of a sudden.
We're hoping this rain goes away and the breeze does come back a little bit. At the moment, we're just waiting for it to try and come back a little bit and stable up a little bit in direction. So we have had it go to the west, so it's gone around 90 degrees to where we are. So we'll wait for a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes and see what it does, and we'll go from there. So,
how much breeze are you willing to actually run a race in? Like, what's the lowest threshold you'll get away with here?
We'll get away with 2 or 3 knots here. As long as the boats are moving and we can see a little bit of breeze over the water, we'll start the race.
2 or 3 knots. There'd be slow action on the water. It'd be very nail-biting to watch, that's for sure.
Most definitely, but unfortunately we've got to try and get it in. We've got all 3 on 1 race win, and we need to get another race to see who's going to win.
Fantastic. Thanks for your support on the course today.
No worries.
Well, there you have it, Curtis. It's all happening. We're going to see if we can... our graphics team are just currently working on this radar image that we might try and get up on the screen in a sec. But there's a bit of weather coming, but it might just pass to the left of us if we're lucky. So we'll get to that in a second. So thanks to Jordan. But Ash, what have we made of this? Certainly not the climax we were looking for.
Not quite. Fingers crossed we can get a few knots. That's all we need, a few knots just to get the boats moving. Look, if we can get a race underway, it's going to be really...
There we go. There's the radar on screen now. So you can see, I think you can sort of see Adelaide there in the middle, and you can see that those heavier rainfalls, those colours are sort of moving to the left of screen rather than to the right. So this is what we're dealing with here in Adelaide, and usually with rain comes a lull in the breeze. But those rainfalls are sort of more around that light to moderate sort of strength. So you had a bit of rain on the Friday night. How did you find that it impacted the racing?
We only had a few light showers, definitely nothing compared to today. It did kill the wind with it. That was the unfortunate part, was sitting there getting soaked, just waiting for a little bit of breeze to come through. But we've had this all weekend with a bit of rain and then a bit of wind and then a bit of rain. So all we need is one race. One race.
One measly little race
That's
that goes
it.
through about
It's
10
not too
minutes.
much to ask for.
I think we noticed as well in some of those qualifying rounds where if you're getting towards the end of the pool and it dies out, 15, 20 minutes left, you just sort of pulled the pin and sent people ashore. But by the time you got to shore and packed up the boat, the wind was back. You know what I mean? So
That's
I
right.
suppose we've got at least 3 hours until the sun goes down. So if we have to wait all that time, we will.
That's right. We only need a 15, 20 minute little block of breeze and we can get things underway.
So that radar's still on the screen for those playing at home. We can see that there obviously are some fairly intense rainfalls with this current map here, just heading out there in the Gulf, and it is moving in that sort of north to south direction. So we'll wait and see. But as we look back out over the racecourse, it's certainly a lot lighter at the moment. So we might take a short break. So we'll just be off comms for a little bit. But we'll take a short break and we'll rejoin the action shortly. So thanks for those being patient at home, but we'll join you when we've got a little bit more to talk about. So we're just in a postponement now, and we'll be back shortly. So thank you.
That's Luke Stevens.
So if you're just joining us here, thanks for those guys in the comments saying the commentary's disappeared, but we think we've fixed that issue. And we are in the last race, the last upwind leg here for the grand final race. Largs Bay, Henley and Adelaide, all on one winner piece. And Luke Stevens here with a very commanding lead as he heads up to the finish line. Ash, you've done you've been a Largs member for a lot of years. Luke's been down there the last few years. Is he a bit of a Friday night warrior down there, isn't he? He's always loving the place.
Does a bit of training during the week, and he's definitely a name everyone knows around there, especially for having the Sailing League trophy in house.
He's done a very good job. He's a very accomplished sailor, and it's good news that's resulted in him having to not be able to participate in the Fireball Worlds this season, but his crew, Ryan Kelly, is expecting another baby, and his wife Bridget, so they've had to pull out of the Fireball Worlds. So I know Luke was really putting a lot of weight on this regatta. The SA Sailing League was the inaugural winner with a very similar team. They had Mark Connery this year. 2 years ago they had Ryan Hutchko as well as Rhino and Chev. But yeah, he's been a mainstay of this one. He missed the event last year due to other commitments, but now he is here heading towards the finish line. So got a great shot
for the win.
Yes, he's got a great shot of them here as they approach the finish line. We'll take this one all the way to the end. We'll get to see the celebrations. So, Largs Bay Sailing Club approaching the finish line. Luke Stevens, Mark Connery, Ryan Kelly, Siobhan Brulin. They're on lay to the finish. It's an incredible, incredible regatta. Luke Stevens has been dominant. Ash Emery, take us home as he crosses the line.
Can't see him, but here he comes.
There it
and
is.
There's the horn. Largs Bay Sailing Club reigns supreme again.
Incredible effort there. We see hugs on board. Chev, Connery, Rhino and Luke. An incredible effort from these guys. Amazing work. Our great mate Curtis Mitchell is down on the water. Curtis, over to you, mate.
Mate, there's a lot of noise and elation going on down here. These guys have stitched it up. But I'll pass it over to Luke, the second-time champion now.
Thanks, Cock.
How was it, mate? Talk us through it.
Yeah, it's good. We thought we had the second race, the elimination race, stitched up, but kept getting wine glasses in the kite. That didn't help the day, but yeah, got it done.
Talk us about last race. It was a light airs, it was quite shifty, but you managed to play into your own breeze and just make it work. What was so special that worked for you then?
We just sort of stuck to our game plan at the start. We saw these guys were pretty soggy back here and couldn't get back to the line. The plan was to try and get out that way as quick as possible, and it worked. So it's good when it works.
And talk us to your crew. It takes a team to make this happen. Who have you got on board here that made this work for you today?
Got Mark Connery. Jumped on this year compared to what we had on the first year.
I decided they needed a bit of age on the boat and someone fit.
Then Rhino, who I sailed with a fair bit in the Sharpie and Fireballs and whatever else, we've gone up together. And then Chevy, that I've done a fair bit within the Concubine and whatever else as well. So.
Fantastic, guys. That's really well sailed. It's a great victory for Largs Bay Sailing Club. See you up there for your second interview.
Will. Guys, thanks, Mark.
Awesome work, Curtis. Now, while we're just watching these guys come in, we've got some great shots of the team as they head ashore. But Curtis, do you just want to head around and maybe chat to Siobhan Brulin, who's on there? She's been a great competitor in this team with Luke, but also a big advocate for sailing nationally as a board member of Australian Sailing. Just over to Chev and just hear what the thoughts and feelings are like on the boat.
No worries, I'm sitting here with Chev now. So Chev, you're a big part of Australian sailing and you've been supporting this event for quite some time now. Talk us through this event for you and what it means and how you feel you performed today.
Oh look, it was hard work today. The fact that we had 3 boats with 1 win each going into the 4th race just shows how close it was. It was bloody hard work, and we're really happy to come away with the win. I love Sailing League. It's fantastic. It's such a great format. I'm a big supporter of this format. I think it's fantastic that the clubs can compete against each other on boats that are supplied. It's an even playing field. It's a whole lot of fun. So
So, it's great for participation of youth and women as well in this format. So, 100%, and hopefully everyone's enjoyed watching today.
Such a great shout, Chevy. It's such a great sport. It's great to see people out here, youth, women, everyone mixing it up and having so much fun. I see smiles all around us. It's fantastic for sailing in South Australia. It's great to see you guys go through again. There you have it, Harry. Team Largs again.
Now, Curtis, we might, while you're down there with the sailors, we might just ask you to ad-lib a little bit and just work them back to the course. Maybe work your way around the boat, get a few interviews going, and just keep the conversation rolling.
I'll get to me next to kind of have a chat. Lino, mate, you've been doing this for a while now, and you and Luke have had a partnership in a few boats now, haven't you, over the years?
Yeah, we have. We've sort of jumped between the Sharpie and the Fireball, but I decided to have a baby at the wrong time, so we're missing the Worlds.
Hey, there's no wrong time for that, mate. These things have to happen.
Nah, families first. So, luckily enough, we got back in the boat this year together with the crew. So, yeah, thanks to these guys as well for jumping on board. Obviously, Chev, we did it 2 years ago, and yeah, really enjoyable.
So you brought the partnership back out just for Sailing League then?
I'd probably sail once a month on average.
Yeah, you enjoy the format though? Like you enjoy getting out here and racing these boats like this?
Yeah, massive shout out to Harry and the team for making this go ahead. When I saw the festival was cancelled, I was very, very worried. So massive shout out to the team, and can't rate it highly enough.
And yeah, how do you find the races? I mean, going into that last one, everyone on an even playing field, do or die for that last one. How was the pressure as a crew?
Yeah, to have now, I think 17 teams this year is a massive turnaround from what we had 2 years ago, and then have that extra pull for qualification, and then you can see the talent of sailors we've got in the final series. It really is the best of the best in SA. So having that spread of ages and all different classes, I absolutely love it.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's so good to see all the best people at clubs coming out. Yeah, everyone's here friends. We all race against each other. We all know each other, and it's great to see us be able to come out and compete at this level. Have a good laugh and smiles afterwards. We should talk to a new member of the team as well. You want to come have a chat?
Yeah, you betcha. Yeah.
So how did you get roped into this?
Oh, I'm just very honoured to have been given a tap on the shoulder and to get an opportunity to sail with this team who have won it once before together. So I've been sailing single-handed boats now for a little while, the Aeros. Absolutely love it. Did a bit of this a few years ago, but out of my comfort zone again doing this. Robbie Doo said to me, get out your comfort zone and go back, get back and do it again. So thanks for letting me be with you guys. It's absolutely fantastic. Sail down under. The organisers, absolutely fantastic, and we didn't have the best weather, but geez, we had the best time. Yeah.
That's awesome to hear, mate. And how was it going from sailing by yourself on Aeros to having to share a boat with 3 people again?
Yeah, well, Chev and I have done nationals before together, and so Chev and I know what to expect from each other. But I haven't sailed with these boys before, and just loved every minute of it. So, and learnt a heck of a lot too. So
that's great to see. There's some cross synergy between there's 2 different racing teams that have come together here to form one sort of super group for Largs Bay here, and just absolutely dominate. So it's great to see.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And you enjoyed the format? You said it's the first time you've raced in this format?
A few years ago I did some stuff in the Etchells and the Tasers and the J24s, but this here is fantastic. Yeah. So it's been a long time since I have done it. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Thanks so much for hopping on with Team Largs here and just absolutely sending it with them.
Yeah.
Well, Harry, they're all very excited on this boat, and it's great to see these 2 crews have come together to form this one sort of, like I said, I'm going to call them a super group from now on. So.
Very good. No. And well done to you guys for getting out, getting wet.
Yes, the conditions have certainly been trying, that's for sure. I mean, were you guys qualified on the Friday, I believe?
Saturday morning.
Oh, Saturday morning, that's right, yeah. And that was wet and miserable, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Snook got us across there in the first place, so that really helped us coming into today with the draw and all those sorts of things, so that was good.
It's an unusual thing I find with sailors. If we're getting wet on a nice warm day in the ocean, we're not complaining too much. But as soon as it's drowning us in rain,
I know.
No one wants to do it, right?
Yeah. What a glamorous sport.
That's right. And so you were main sheet for this race?
Yeah.
So, and how was the difference, hopping up this Elliott? How much training did you do to sort of get yourself ready
We did 2 hours on Tuesday night, which was in about 12 knots or 8 knots at gusty. So no, it was good. I think we're done.
So one session was all it took. You just rock started in, 2 hours of training.
As I said, I was lucky to be with these guys.
Yeah, it helps when you got a great supporting crew, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rightio, so we're getting ready to bring this boat into the dock now. We're going to watch Snooks try and command this one in.
Yeah. One and in.
Sometimes the hardest part of the sport is actually getting your boats to be parked in safely.
Actually, the main thing I'm looking forward to is they said the winning boat gets to go in and get showered and get dressed, and someone else is going to unrig the boat.
Not sure about the hot shower, mate. We might get some cold beers on an interview, I think, so your future's got for you.
Cold beers. Yeah, we've got them up in the car ready to go. So.
That's fantastic,
We
guys.
are from Larks Bay after all.
So what's planned for the rest of your sailing years? What's planned for the rest of your season?
I'm probably going to do the Nationals in the Aero.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And where are they being held?
They're in Melbourne. I've just been a little bit undecided. I did them last year. But yeah, I think I will end up going there. So especially after this, the competitive stuff gets you.
Are you going to find an excuse to find a boat with more crew now and hang out with these people a bit more?
Well, the Sharpies have got a bit of hype around them at the moment, but I'm probably a tad large to be on a Sharpie. But we'll see what happens.
I think there's some big people in that class that will disagree with you, mate. I think Sharpies, I'll take them all.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Let's get a Will do, Harry. Thanks.
Couldn't see it. I think I'm in the wrong spot, eh? That's not it. It's not into that.
I want to look like I'm fully taking over. Do you want to go and pick it up with like Blackers and Southie? Yeah, sure.
Alright, you're on a holding screen. It's not the sexiest thing in the world, so you want to touch it on the
So I'm here with Alex Blackers, who put a valiant effort in there. Alex, just talk us about last race, mate.
Yeah, mate. It all came down to it, that's for sure. We thought we were looking pretty good off that pin. Thought we might get a little bit more breeze, but unfortunately it just kind of flicked at the last minute and went left on us. So we're just happy to make it across the start line, honestly, in that race. But we put up a fight, and I guess we went in after snookers cleared out. We kind of just went in with the mindset we just really needed to clean out a second so we can kind of push through to the next stage. So the teams are great, they are faultless, and yeah, they did a really good job and improved throughout the whole weekend. These guys really haven't done a lot in their Elliott Sevens. There's Sean and Toru there, so I guess the steps and everything they took throughout the weekend was pretty good, and yeah, really good to watch. So and massive congratulations to Snookers as well. He deserved that and sailed really well and consistent regatta. So well done.
Good on you, Alex. Do you reckon you'll be back again next year to fight it out again?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I love this style of racing. It's high intensity, makes you think and gets you really warmed up for the upcoming Nationals. So I'll be here without a doubt. Thank you.
Fantastic, Alex. Have a good one.
Cheers.
So just going to find Alex Alder here to talk us through her race. Alex, you got a second for us? That was such a great final series for the Sailing League there. You got so close, you're looking so awesome, but then, came out to the last race. Talk us through it.
Yeah, well, we thought it was coming out of the gutter, which is a affectionately that little, I guess, dock that's on the left side of the course today, and yeah, we thought it was there and it looked good, but then it just didn't come down. So it's just one of those things. I think it was a bit of luck of the draw. No offence to Luke and the guys, but could have gone anyway there. It was so good to have it come down to the last race.
Fantastic. I think it's the first time I've seen someone go for a swim in this as well. It's an amazing crew recovery, I've got to say. Was that Finley that fell out?
Yeah, it was. Where the state, I think it's State Swims, our sponsor on the boat, so he was just, doing the extra bit for them.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you think you'll be back next year, fight it out again?
I hope so. I hope these guys will have me back, and yeah, we'll have another crack.
That's awesome. Alex, it's so good to have you here.
Thanks.
Harry, mate, what a fantastic event. Well run, mate.
Thanks, mate. We're going to alleviate Curtis of his duties, but thanks for everything, mate, and we'll go and get this presentation underway.
My pleasure, Harry. Well run.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Might get rid of that guy, if that works. Can you hold that for me? Thanks to all our viewers for joining us. We're just going to do a bit of a dummy presentation here to wrap things up. So just first of all, a big thank you to all of our supporters and friends of this event. Obviously our sponsors, Maughan Thiem, who have done a fantastic job, as well as the City of Port Adelaide Enfield, who have been the driving force behind a lot of this on-water activity here in the Port River, and a huge financial supporter of the SA Sailing League. Before we get underway, Luke Stevens, mate, the first ever two-time SA Sailing League champion, mate. How does it feel?
It was good. Yeah, like I said, we thought we'd almost had it sewn up after like straight sets, but a few wine glasses made it hard. But it was good to keep the good to keep the lot stream going anyway for a bit longer. So
yeah, nice one. Yeah, certainly took it right down to the death. But it's an absolute pleasure to have you here as our champions, Chev, Rhino, Mark. I reckon we've got a little bit of a present for you. So. How did Paul Roos say it in 2005?
I don't know.
Here it is. Over to you guys. Well done.
Well done, guys.
Nice work. Awesome. And we'll just get a photo of you. Alex is just... Nice work, Derry. Love it.
All right, I'm going to go to...
Well, there you have it, folks. Congratulations to everyone involved. A huge thank you to all of our helpers, our volunteers, of course, Chief Umpire and PRO Wayne Thompson, our secondary umpire Simon Irving, also our entire media team, Jordan Roberts in the production house, as well as Jack Fletcher, Brad Housestead, Kieran Cowley, Ash Emery and Curtis Mitchell. Obviously, a huge thanks to the Cruising Yacht Club of South Australia. Greg and Luke Allison have done a great job with these boats, and we could not have done this without the Cruising Yacht Club. And last but definitely not least, a big shout out to Matty Salter and Greg Keane, as well as Laura Hewson, who helped out on Friday night with the race officer duties. And last, of course, all the spectators that came down to be part of the league. So that's it for today. Thank you, and we'll see you next year.